Released in the late 1980s, Death Race for the Nintendo Entertainment System brought the intense world of vehicular combat to home consoles. Based loosely on the controversial arcade game of the same name, this NES title aimed to deliver fast-paced action, a sense of danger, and plenty of destruction. Death Race for the NES drew inspiration from the 1976 arcade game Death Race, developed by Exidy. The arcade game sparked controversy due to its violent nature, where players drove over gremlins that screamed and transformed into gravestones. Though the NES version wasn't a direct port, it inherited the edgy concept of vehicular mayhem, creating a game that resonated with thrill seekers. The NES version was developed by a lesser-known studio that worked to adapt the arcade game's concept for a broader audience. Nintendo's strict content guidelines at the time posed challenges for the development team, leading to a toned-down approach. Despite this, the game managed to retain a sense of chaos and destruction, staying true to its roots. By the time Death Race hit the NES, the home console market was booming, but the game struggled to stand out amidst a sea of iconic titles like Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. Its niche appeal and controversial premise made it a cult classic rather than a mainstream hit. It doesn't have a traditional narrative, but provides a loose premise. Players assume the role of a reckless driver participating in a high-stakes, deadly competition. The goal is simple: eliminate everything in your path to rack up points and survive as long as possible. The lack of a detailed storyline left much to the player's imagination, allowing them to immerse themselves in the game's chaotic world. It's a pure arcade-style experience, where gameplay takes center stage over storytelling. The gameplay involves driving a vehicle through various environments filled with obstacles, enemies, and targets to destroy. Players must dodge hazards, collect power-ups, and use their vehicle as a weapon to eliminate opponents. Key gameplay elements include vehicular combat. Use your car to ram into enemies and obstacles to clear the path. Scoring system. Points are awarded for destroying targets and surviving longer in increasingly challenging levels. Power-ups. Players can collect items that boost speed, repair damage, or provide temporary invincibility. The game features a variety of levels with different themes, such as urban streets, deserts, and apocalyptic wastelands. Each level introduces new obstacles, including mines, oil slicks, and rival vehicles that actively attack the player. It is notoriously challenging. Players must master tight controls and quick reflexes to navigate the chaotic environments. Limited lives and a high level of unpredictability make the game unforgiving, but also rewarding for those who enjoy a tough challenge. The NES game maintained a spiritual connection to the controversial arcade original, but avoided the explicit violence by framing the destruction as a battle against robotic or non-human adversaries. Despite mixed reviews upon release, the game has gained a cult following over the years. Its unique premise and intense gameplay have made it a memorable title for retro gaming enthusiasts. It laid the groundwork for future vehicular combat games like Twisted Metal and Carmageddon. Its mix of speed, destruction, and chaos influenced the evolution of the genre. Early marketing materials for the NES version leaned heavily on the controversy of the arcade game to draw attention. The game's manual featured dark humor, encouraging players to embrace the destructive nature of the game. While the graphics were simple, they effectively conveyed the post-apocalyptic setting. The music and sound effects added to the game's intensity, with screeching tires and explosions creating an immersive experience. Death Race for the NES is a fascinating piece of gaming history. Though it never reached the iconic status of other NES classics, its chaotic gameplay and controversial roots make it a standout in the library of retro games. Did you grow up playing Death Race or discover it later as part of your retro gaming adventures? Share your memories and thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into gaming history.